The Valley Green Vegan Podcast for Born Again Eaters is brought to you by Valley Green Naturals, a natural ingredient manufacturing company producing head-to-toe personal care products for clean living. Stay tuned to the end of this podcast for a special offer from Valley Green Naturals just for our listeners. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. I am Cindy and you're listening to Valley Green Vegan, the podcast for Born Again Eaters. I have to apologize that it's been a little too long since my last podcast episode, but things got really busy as we neared the holiday season. The company that I own manufactures natural soaps, scrubs, skincare products, all kinds of gifts and personal care. And this is always our busiest time of the year with online orders. So we managed to get Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday under our belts, and we'll be nearing the shipping finish line pretty soon for Christmas orders. And I thought I would just share a little bit about what's been cooking lately here on the Valley Green farm. So you guys know that I love to cook. And as I've said in previous podcasts, turning to a plant-based diet opened up a whole new, not a path, but more like a freeway of ingredients, nutrition, fun dishes, and, makes me want to share them with others. So I actually was a little bit afraid that Thanksgiving might present a small challenge this year since it was our first time celebrating with a vegan menu. But actually, it turned out to be really awesome. It's so easy to take those old fat-laden, dairy-filled recipes and turn them into dishes that are fiber-filled, nutritious, and delicious. And I don't know why I was worried because it ended up being really, really easy with very little planning. I made some delicious stuffing with mushroom gravy. And actually, it was my dad that gave me the recipe for the mushroom gravy. It was so simple and so good. And I know there's tons of recipes out there for mushroom gravy, but this one was special because Dad gave it to me. So I should probably post that one on the blog also. But I also made glazed carrots, seasoned steamed veggies, say that 3 times fast, scalloped potatoes, and I made this non-dairy green bean casserole that was truly out of this world. I know green bean casseroles are like what everybody serves at Thanksgiving and people are so tired of it, but this was so good. And I made it with good fresh green beans. It was fantastic. But the pièce de résistance was a pumpkin pie cake with peanut butter vanilla ice cream. All dairy-free and vegan-friendly, of course, but it was amazing. And this is a cake that I've made in the past before I turned to a plant-based diet, and it had some eggs in it, some other unhealthy stuff. But I changed the recipe and made it very easily by substituting, applesauce for the eggs, for instance. And I am going to be posting that one on the blog really soon too. It is a fantastic recipe for all kinds of occasions, for desserts. So what I determined this Thanksgiving is, the truth is you really don't have to have a main dish like turkey or ham or steak as the centerpiece of your table. You can prepare several plant-based dishes that meet and even exceed the yummy scale of variety and taste for your dinner guests. So needless to say, we had a super successful and delicious Thanksgiving dinner. And by the way, we did have a couple of guests with us who are not vegan, and they absolutely loved it. So I'm going to be posting, as I mentioned, that pumpkin pie cake recipe on the blog soon, and I'll get that mushroom gravy recipe up there as well. So keep an eye out for that. That pumpkin pie cake recipe is a great dessert for any occasion. So with Christmas coming up, you might want to think about it. So I've been cooking up a lot of different dishes here at Valley Green since my last podcast, but there is one in particular that stands out as truly, in my book, a blue ribbon winner. I made it yesterday, and I cannot wait to use the leftover sauce for another meal this evening. I made a spinach ravioli with sauteed mushrooms and the best dairy-free Alfredo sauce I've ever had. It was so simple and so delicious. And I'm telling you, learning how to make a proper cashew cream for all these things, for soups and, sauces, it's life-changing. I mean, for me as a new vegan, I thought I was always going to have to give up all creams, great sauces and things, and only stick with tomato, basil sauces and things like that. Not true. This cashew cream is so versatile. It can be used in a variety of recipes. There was another one that I made recently. It was my creamy vegan tortellini soup that you'll also find on the Valley Green Vegan recipe blog. To say that soup was decadent would be a total understatement. But here I go, digressing again. I mean, let's get back to the ravioli and mushroom Alfredo. Yum. Here's what I learned about making the best vegan Alfredo sauce that you can possibly make. It is all in the blending. I tried this once before, or a couple times before, and I just didn't go far enough with the blending. You've got to soak your raw cashews for at least 2 to 3 hours to get them soft. So if you wake up in the morning and you think I'm going to make, some kind of cream sauce or soup or something tonight, throw those cashews into a bowl of water and get them soaking right away. Then throw them into a food processor. I use a mini processor for this. It's made by KitchenAid. It's so handy, and I will include a link to it in the show description below. And then you just add a good healthy tablespoon of nutritional yeast. I actually use one that's labeled savory flavored. I have no idea what the brand is right now because it's downstairs in my pantry, but it is labeled savory flavored. And I don't know if that makes a difference or not because I love nutritional yeast in all different ways, but I did put that in there into the cashews, and then add some water, and you just start processing those cashews on high speed. It takes some patience and some time to get this right, but it's really, really important in getting the correct consistency for your sauces and soups. So you've got to keep stopping the food processor and scraping the sides, pushing those cashews back down into the blades, and then whirring it into motion again and again, adding tablespoons of water as you go. The blending process really does take, for me, it takes somewhere around 6 to 8 minutes before I get to a truly creamy consistency. But you'll know when you get there. It's important to continuously taste that mixture as you're blending because you'll get to a point where you won't feel or taste any grittiness from the cashews. You'll have a creamy, almost peanut buttery consistency. That's when you've got yourself some awesome cashew cream to use in your dishes. Now, when I say this Alfredo sauce is easy to make, I am seriously not kidding. It's literally cashews, nutritional yeast, water, and vegetable stock or vegetable broth, doesn't matter. Once you've got your smooth and delicious cashew cream, just bring 1 cup of the veggie broth or stock to a boil, scoop in all the cashew cream, and whisk it until it's mixed in. You got to then lower the heat down to a gentle simmer over low, whisking it often, and watch as the sauce kind of thickens a little bit. It's not going to thicken a lot, but it's going to thicken a little bit to form the Alfredo for your pasta. This really does take only probably 2 to 3 minutes. And then you just turn off the heat, cover it up, keep it warm. And then let me also add this too. If you prefer a thicker sauce, just cut the veggie broth to 3/4 of a cup rather than a full cup. I found that a full cup of cashews to 1 cup of veggie broth works really well for the consistency that I like, but you might like a thicker sauce. So you can play around with that a little bit. For the recipe that I posted to the blog, I included instructions on making your own ravioli, but you can certainly buy fresh or frozen ravioli from your grocery store. It is a lot of work making your own pasta, and I realize that not everyone wants to be in their kitchen for as long as I do. So do absolutely feel free to substitute. By the way, if you're lucky enough to have a Wegmans store close to you, they really do make fantastic fresh vegan pasta. It's available in the same refrigerated case as all the other fresh pastas, but it has the Wegmans label. So just look for their cashew cream based, like their tortellini, as well as their spinach and butternut squash ravioli. They truly are fantastic substitutes for homemade pasta. So the only other addition I made to this recipe was sauteing some sliced cremini mushrooms to add on top before I poured the Alfredo sauce over the ravioli. I just cooked them up with a tablespoon of vegan butter along with a 1/4 cup of veggie broth. I added a sprinkle of nutritional yeast and then tossed them right on top of the spinach ravioli. The sauce followed. And, I just drizzled it over the top. And the rest was history, as my family all made multiple yummy sounds during dinner. So I do hope that you'll try the spinach ravioli and mushrooms Alfredo recipe. I mean, whether you make it with your own pasta or buy it in the store, you're really going to enjoy this dish, especially when you mix in those sauteed mushrooms. That's really important, so don't forget those. It is so savory and it is absolutely delicious. If you do try out any of our recipes on the Valley Green Vegan blog, we'd love to hear from you. There is a comment section at the bottom of each recipe page, and we truly would love to get your thoughts. You can also subscribe on the homepage of the Valley Green Vegan website to receive notifications in real time whenever we post something new. We're still pretty new, but I believe that we have about 40 recipes on there now, with many, many more to come. I mean, this is not a short-term project. We're in it for the long haul. So thank you very much for joining us at the ground level. It is truly, truly appreciated. And you can also follow us on Facebook at Valley Green Vegan and on my Threads page at Cindy Lawson DeVore, Devore. That's how you spell my last name. I only post new recipes on Threads, and just definitely check it out, because if you're into Threads, I don't post anything else on there as a social site. It's just the recipes. So guys, that's all the time that we have for today. Thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate it. We'll be back again soon with more delicious and nutritious cooking tips and vegan eats. So stay safe, be well, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, just a little postscript I wanted to mention. Many of us who are looking to live a clean and natural lifestyle are always on the lookout to avoid toxins in our daily lives. Even before I was diagnosed with cancer in 2017, I always tried to eat a healthy diet of organic foods and use clean ingredient products, cleaning materials, things like that. I was so into the natural and organic lifestyle that I actually started a company that produces clean ingredient body care products. That was 13 years ago, and my company, Valley Green Naturals, is still going really strong today. So what started as a soap making hobby in my farmhouse kitchen all those years ago has actually grown into a fairly good sized company, and we have over 30 products, and we make everything from soaps to facial care to deodorants. They're all natural, body lotions and bug repellents even. Everything is made with plant-derived natural ingredients. So if you're looking to reduce the toxins in your personal care products, I just thought I would mention valleygreennaturals.com. And for anyone listening to this podcast, you can use promo code HEALTHY at checkout to receive a 15% discount off your first order. So that's valleygreennaturals.com, or you can simply click the link in the episode description below.